Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're on a different computer this time. We're going to be on this computer pretty much from now on, but for the time being, we got a little something we want to talk about. So I hope y'all can handle the conversation. I was talking with a tax preparer today, tax preparer that I know, and I was letting her know some of the things that we have been able to put together. And we go over ideas from time to time. And she was telling me how difficult it is for her to try to explain to people how to do their taxes. Now remember, she's a tax preparer. This is what she does as a business. She has an actual official business that she's been doing. Oh God, that's how I met her back in 2012. She was going through a problem with her home, about to lose her home. She's still in her home to this day. Okay? We had a battle for years. She's still in her home. I've known her since 2000. I said 2012. It's 2011. While talking to her today, she told me about how difficult it is to get people to understand taxes because of all of the programming on television and what television does to people and what they hear and how people go by what they hear. And usually what they hear is bull, but they go by it anyway. And it doesn't amount to anything. So I told her that is the problem because I'm having the same problem trying to explain things to people that they can't grasp because they are not understanding the language. So, and this is the truth, we're going to have to start dumbing things down. Not the fact that the people that we're talking to are dumb, but the fact is the language changes. And that's been the point. Language has been changing. And so we have to undo that. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I'm installing a software, and that's me putting in the items there so that it will install correctly and start up correctly on this computer. I have to reprogram it and add all the files and so forth, and it tells me, and I knew that that was going to happen because I have to find the correct files that go with it, and I knew that that was going to happen. So I will take care of it. I have the correct files on the other computer that's in my hand here, but it's transferring the files. And so I just have to be patient and wait for it to finish with the transfer. And it was asking me a question, and I had it closed and I couldn't see it ask me the question. Let's go ahead and stop it from doing all of that. All of that is done. It's about time. Uh-oh, I was uploading a video yesterday and the video never uploaded. Dang it. Now I gotta re-upload it. Cancel upload. So let me go ahead and snap. Sorry, I just reminded myself something. You see that upload that I was just canceling? On the other computer, we have the videos that I just did, and I need to save those videos. That's a whole lot of gigabytes. So that's a whole lot of savings, y'all. Oh well, it's what I've got to do. Got to do what I got to do. So let's talk just briefly because, as you see, I'm doing a bunch of things in the background, and I do have to tend to those things. It isn't that they are more important than you all, but they're more important than you all. Okay? Um, Truthfully, honestly, for reals. So we're gonna do the best I can in explaining to you guys how things work, how things are supposed to go. Your taxes. Ladies and gentlemen, when you go to work for an employer, you are not an employee. You are working or doing work for the employer, but you are not an employee. You're not a salaried worker. You're paid for your productivity per hour. If you were a salary worker, you're an employee because it doesn't matter how many hours you work, you still get paid. So now you're an employee. But you going to work? Go ahead and work 4 hours and think you're going to get paid for the full month. You feel me? So you are what's known as a subcontractor, not a gig worker subcontractor, but a subcontractor. Why? Because you worked out an agreement with the employer. Go ahead. You and your employer have a contract. Shh. Don't tell nobody. That's a secret. Go ahead. Go ahead and look at the application, and your application was approved. You guys accepted the offers, and you came to an agreement. That's a contract, people. Verbal, and we don't play that. I don't answer calls on Wednesdays. If it ain't important, it ain't getting answered. Back to the hotel. Ladies and gentlemen, pay attention to what's being said. You go to a job interview. You've already filled out the application. You show up. You do well on the interview. Yahoo! And then the next thing, you guys agree to a salary, you agree to a date and time that you show up and you work and they give you a paycheck. Okay, you are not an employee. You are a subcontractor and or partner. You're exchanging services. Until you start to understand that and understand how to read the tax code, it's not their definition and their understanding of it, your understanding. Wait a minute. What you mean, my understanding? Exactly what I said. You have to understand the code. The code is there for everybody to read. It's your intentions that's important. And if you weren't intending on defrauding anybody, nobody can accuse you of fraud. So my intentions when I do my taxes, I'm a sole proprietor. We're going to talk about the court trying to challenge my sole proprietorship and how I just called it all kind of idiots, morons, stupid, imbeciles. And I'm telling it for a fact that ain't nothing they can do about it. When I explain to you exactly how they challenged, did an ending around. And theirs was racially guided. They were trying to be racist when they did what they did. I'll explain it to you guys and you'll understand. I was able to prove it, able to put it on the record, and now I'm going after that idiot judge and the attorney who decided they wanted to play with me. I apologize. Back to taxes, ladies and gentlemen. When you're doing your taxes, the reason why they want you to do taxes as an individual, taxpayer, as an employee, because they charge you more for being an employee. They pull more taxes out of your paycheck for being an employee. Stop being an employee. Understand your position on the totem pole when it comes to taxes. You're not going to not pay your taxes. Okay, let's segue just for a second. Those of you who have been listening to some of us tell you filing tax exempt, well, you don't understand. You can't just file exempt without writing stuff off. Lord have mercy. You guys are listening to videos and you're not doing any research. She told me how many people are getting in trouble for just writing exempt. Yes, I went exempt. Maxine Waters told us how to go exempt, but she also told us how to make sure that nobody ever shine any light on it. 6 months. What did I do? I had 4 dependents, and then the next 6 months you are exempt, or vice versa. That way you are paying the taxes, but you're not paying all that junk. Means you're going to get a less amount of a refund, but you're going to find out that you made more that year than you would have gotten back on a refund. And the amount that you saved by going exempt. See, when you pay attention, when you don't go exempt and you pay every month after month after month after month. They take more away from you, and then they only refund only part of it. Ask yourself the question, if the taxes that you were being charged were accurate, then why do they owe you a refund? No, no, no. Shut up. Listen. If you indeed owe those taxes on your income, then why do they owe you a refund? Go ahead. Go to the grocery store, and a bottle of milk costs you $4.43, and you give the cashier $4.43. Does she give you a refund? If you paid the exact amount due that they said was due every month coming out of your paycheck, and why do they give you a refund? What do they owe you money for? Thousands of dollars they owe you because you overpaid. That means they overcharged you. Shh. That's why it's called estimated taxes. People, you all have got to start thinking and stop listening to these videos on these idiots try to tell you what this stuff is. Do your research. Yeah. You don't know how to do research. I can tell because I listen to too many of you. And I even listen to those idiots on these different channels talking about this stuff. You can tell who knows what they're talking about and who don't know what they're talking about. The ones who don't know what they're talking about, one thing they'll never do is they'll never refer to anything of any legitimacy. It'll always be the same junk you hear everybody else talking about. So back to doing your taxes. Ladies and gentlemen, you have to do the 1040 ES. What is that? That's the estimated tax withholdings. You have to. Why? Because if you get any penalty, any frivolous filing, all you got to do is document your credits. What are your credits? Any write offs, any expenses. There are some technicalities I could give you guys right now, but I can't. See, when I tell you there are certain things that I can't say because there are certain policies in place that they will come my way sooner than I want them to come my way. And so we're not going to, no, not going to do that for any of you selfish people. Do your research and understand it that way. But for right now, you all should be filing your taxes along with a Schedule C. At the least, Schedule C is where you write off all that junk as business expenses. Gasoline, lunches, business expenses. Even doing work out of your home office. I don't care if your office is that little coffee table with that computer sitting on top of it. Don't get clever. Don't get clever. Get 100% literal and real about it. As long as you know what you are doing and what you are saying, they cannot challenge you, people. They cannot challenge you. You see, as long as your intent wasn't to defraud anybody or to get over on anybody, then you've done nothing wrong. Many of you are not going to understand that. You're not going to get it, and I'm not here to help you. I'm only here to give you the information that many of you don't understand taxes. And I am sorry, sorry that that is the case. You should, but you don't. All right, I'm working on the other computer, and I'm working on this computer, and I can't do both at the same time and talk to y'all. Nope, I don't chew bubble gum no more. Okay? And so while we go ahead and do our episode of They Live, we're going to let you guys go ahead and live, and we will speak to y'all the next time. Hey, just testing this computer out and see how the quality is. We'll speak to you.